Hello, my name is Robert Poor. A lot has been said about the music of Robert W. Smith for good and for bad. Now, I realize that a lot of this music can be seen as basically repeating the same basic ideas, the same formula over and over again, but there are a few pieces I really think we would be at a loss if conductors stopped programming them, stopped performing them, etc. And one of these pieces is Songs of Sailor and Sea. It's a piece I first played when I was a sophomore in high school, and it's not Mozart, it's not Beethoven, but we all had a really good time playing it. It really inspired me to think, well, maybe being a musician is the right thing for me, and I even ended up writing a poem about it. I'm not going to read the whole thing, it's a fairly long poem, but I'll just read a couple verses. Hear the wind roar, the waves and tides flowing round. The contrary moon shines over the nighttime sea. Through the morning fog comes the whale song, amid choruses of dolphins singing the morning praise. Yeah. So, yeah, this is a pretty good piece of music, and a lot of times when we're programming music with our band, I'm not an educator or anything like that, but I've played in a lot of high school bands, college bands, and I just know a lot of the time we focus more on the notes, the mechanics of it, and we forget about the spirit. We don't really pay much attention to the spirit at all. And so I thought I might take a few moments today to say some thoughts about the spirit of this work, Songs of Sailor and Sea. Now, one of the things Robert W. Smith does in this piece, that he does in a lot of his pieces, is there's a groove. Well, one of the things he does with this groove in this piece is he contrasts it with a more straight-laced idea in triplets. And so on. Anyway, well, what that kind of reminds me of is the old Warner Brother cartoon, I Love to Sing It. Now, if you're not familiar with I Love to Sing It, the basic premise is there's this little owl. He hatches straight from his egg. He's born to sing jazz, but his parents are stern classical musicians and they won't have it. So they try and force him to sing in a proper classical style. This is dramatized at one point. His mother's at the piano accompanying him, and he's being forced to sing the song, Drink Me Only with Thine Own Eyes, but every time she turns the page, he sneaks in a little bit of the jazz song he likes so much. It goes something like this. Drink to me only with thine eyes. I like to sing about the moon and the tuna and the springer, and I will pledge with mine. I like to sing about the sky of blue or the key for two. Anyway, Smith does a lot of that sort of juxtaposition in Songs of Sailor and Sea, too. For example, we, at the beginning, we have, he'll put the triplet motive over the top of the groove sometimes, or at measure 41, the groove disappears briefly, and we just have swirling triplets all over the place and straight quarter notes. And, well, what I thought is that when you're switching back and forth between these more straight-laced portions and the groove, back into the groove, it might be very beneficial to sort of take a slight ritornello at the end of it, going into the groove to sort of really set them apart. Sort of like the owl at the piano, thing, like, bring to me only with thine eyes. I like to sing about the moon and the tune and the springer. And he especially does a lot of this at the end of the piece. Like, and he just keeps going back into that groove. And, yeah, it's all about freedom. The groove is the sea. The groove is the freedom of the sea. The freedom of the sea to be itself. The freedom of people sailing on the sea to like get away from their worries and their troubles on the land. And yeah, my favorite part of the piece comes at measure 143 when he goes back into the groove after a long absence from it. And instead of just repeating the original theme verbatim like he so often does, he varies it a little bit. It has more energy to it. It's like the sea has gone wild. The human element is no longer welcome. The sea will be itself. And this especially comes out at measure 155 when the horns enter. Yog, yog, bagum, 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 bagum. You know, like that. It's like this wide, strong, soaring melody. And horns, I just don't think you can play it loudly enough. But you gotta avoid being like really crass or bad intonation with it too. What you want to do is just stand tall, sit tall, center yourself, and take a deep breath with your diaphragm, like so. Then roar! You are the fury of the sea! You are the waves devouring the boat, the kraken eating the sailors! You are the freedom that the sea provides. Anyway, I thought I'd record this and say a big thank you to my high school band director, Larry Peterson, for first introducing me to this piece 11 years ago. And it's been a great 11 years since then, and I've learned a lot, been exposed to a lot of other music, some of it better music, but this piece still has a place in my heart, and I would like to say thank you, Larry, for making that possible. Peace, everyone.